Welcome to In the Moment with Courtier Kuzan, where we inform, inspire, and motivate you to be a positive agent of change. Good morning and welcome to this Motivation Monday. It's awesome times in the radio studio today. Folks, hey, reach out to us on our phone numbers. The local number is going to be 318-484-2500 and toll free at 877-464-2500. And you can also reach us on social media at In the Moment with Courtier Kuzan, or you can go to our website at inthemomentwithcourtierkuzan.com. And hey, just remember, just because we family, hey, I got a free gift for you on there. You can download a nice ebook that'll actually be an enrichment to like your personal and professional lives. So now that we got that all taken care of on this Motivational Monday, hey, Friday we stopped and we ended with talking about what does it take to be a success, or what does it mean to be a success. And, you know, I just want to kind of keep that going along as far as like what the different traits of successful people. Because actually, as I said before, until we can actually define what it is to be successful, we may not actually be doing the things in our lives that will get us to that next level, get us to all that's actually, you know, just waiting for us, you know. How scripture says, you know, my people perish for the lack of knowledge. I mean, sometimes it may be about actually getting a little extra education. It may actually submitting yourself to a mentor. You know, it may actually be doing a little something to where you can actually get on the job, seek a supervisor that may actually be able to take you to that next level as far as like in your career. But whatever it is, whatever that stepping stone is for you, make sure you walk into the full level of your success. And like I said, we're talking about traits of a successful person. So we see a lot of different people as far as like on television, things that you go over social media, you hear people talking, and everyone has their own idea of what it is to be successful. But then also, you know, some things are similar, but, you know, not everything is the same. And, you know, the thing about being a successful is what I find with successful people, and, you know, myself included, is that there's this need to basically, you know, compete, you know, a need to win, deeply rooted, you know, competitive streak, like, you know, thinking of ways to get a leg up on the competition. Now, there are people out there that would consider themselves successful, and they will do anything and everything to pretty much, as I'm just going to just blatantly say it, step on the next person's neck, okay? That's not what I'm talking about as successful. I'm talking about success as you going along in your pathway and you're doing what's necessary for you to rise to the next level, and then you turn around and help another. That's what I'm talking about as far as true success. I'm not talking about causing harm to anyone. I'm not talking about trying to destroy someone's career, destroy someone's life, destroy someone's marriage, whatever it may be. Folks, that's not successful, okay? That's something that the world says you've got to do to get ahead, but you know that not so. You know, as Christ says, you know, we're helpers one to another. And, you know, definitely, you know, it's this need that you actually have to compete, and you can call it drive, okay? You've got to have some kind of drive. You just cannot get up in the morning with this hum-ho attitude like, oh, okay, what do I have to do now to go ahead to, what's the next step in success? I mean, if you approach success in that way, you approach anything in life that way, you may just be answering the question that you've had for so long of why things aren't turning around for you. Okay, you literally have to have a determined mind and be actually ready to go and put a little effort into, you know, acquiring what it is as far as like success for you. And then, of course, look, the capacity to let go. I mean, when you actually hold on to the past or the latest mistake, I mean, it'll only hold you back. Hey, first partaker right here. I mean, for years. I mean, I'm not talking weeks. I'm not just talking days, months, however you want to say it. For years, that was my case. Okay, holding on to if things didn't work out according to my quote unquote timetable. Okay, how many of us right now, okay, under the sound of my voice, how many of you right now, you're holding on to things that you tried in the past, and you're using those things that happened in the past as the things that are stopping you from actually going forward in your future? I mean, literally, it's, folks, if you want to get a visual, it's like the future may be a mile up the road. Success is a mile up the road, and you see it. I mean, there are spotlights shining on it. There are people with banners and flags, and they're saying, yeah, success is right this way. It's right this way. But you keep focusing on the things that have happened in your past that you may have failed on, and then it's like a visual of this anchor, okay? You've got this big chain that's around your waist, and I'm not talking about like the size of a belt. I'm seriously talking about like an anchor, all right? And the chain is stretched out and the anchor is just stuck in your past, and you're trying to move forward, but each and every time you think about something that may have not gone well for you in your past, you get locked, and you're not able to make any kind of headway. Because guess what? The past is the past, all right? Leave the past in the past. You cannot relive the past. You can't go back and fix anything in the past. So just leave it where it is. But guess what? You can do something in the future. And it reminds me of the things that I've told people, and I tell myself at times, and I tell my kids and family members as well. Guess what? If you're going to fail forward. And what that means is that, guess what? Take every necessary step that you have to actually be successful. And you may set a bar or a standard for yourself to be successful, and you may not achieve every single thing, but guess what? You have moved forward to a certain degree to where in the natural it may seem like you may have failed, but guess what? When you look back, you're much further ahead than where you were before you even began. Now, you need to have an actual passion, okay? You need to have an actual passion for improvement, okay? Never be satisfied and always trying to improve. Now, folks, okay, friends, you have to actually remember, all right? Reading one book a year, going through one training course, going through one live seminar, whatever it is that you may do in the course of a year, yes, that is awesome. And I'm so proud of you for actually doing that. But, you know, in being your friend, all right, it doesn't stop there, okay? Treat your success just as if you're in school, just as if you're in college. Now, you don't take a test or you don't go and you start to get taught things by the teacher, you know, once a year. It's a continual daily process. And even sometimes on the weekends, if you're just like my kids, you come home and you have homework. Make it a point to always be increasing your level of knowledge. Look, the more you know, the further you'll go. I know that kind of sounds cliche, and I remember that thing back when I was a kid. If you remember that the old Schoolhouse Rock, the little television programs that came on, you know, Conjunction Junction, what's your function, and all that different stuff. Hey, but guess what? When you think about those things right now, that little conductor or whatever that was on that train, he was always moving. He was always pushing forward. He was always striving to make everything line up. And that's exactly what we do. We need to always be pushing forward and always striving to go forward to get, you know, to that next level. I mean, I really cannot emphasize that enough. And a lot of you might be saying, well, why is he so much on success? Why is he so much on going forward? Because you know something, folks, or should I say, my friends, we need to stop living under our means, okay? We've set this bar, okay? We've set this bar that's so low to where all we can do is do the bare minimum and we're actually going to achieve it. And it's like almost a safety net, okay? Almost like a safety net that's in our lives. And we set the bar so low because we may have failed in our past, okay? Let's just be real. A lot of us have failed in things that we've accomplished in our past. And it's just so we don't go through the hurt, the frustration, or people just trying to come up to us and saying, hey, I told you that was never going to work. Why did you even go ahead and try that? Just so that we don't go through those things and we don't hear those voices, we set the standard so low that, you know, we just go for the bare minimum of trying to actually succeed in any area of our life. But what is it? What kind of passion that you're going to have to just really drive you? If you're a parent, do you want your kids to actually repeat the same things that you've gone through in their adult lives? They're looking at you for what the standard is of success right now. So pattern what success truly is with them. Show them what it is as far as like in your marriage, as far as like in the family, as far as like in your professional life, and let them know that the only way they're actually going to achieve certain things in their lives is actually going for it. Don't play it safe. Go for it. Be smart, be knowledgeable, but go for it. And when we come back after the break, I tell you, it's going to be powerful. But right now, it's a whirlwind out there of levels of success that are actually being able to be attained by each and every one of you. And folks, I just want to let you know right now, if you haven't realized it, guess what? You're in your moment. We're having a little fun up in here. If you didn't hear before, yo, hey, you got to get excited early in the morning. Keep you pumped and keep you engaged. And that's what In the Moment is all about. I'm really happy about you tuning back in with us. And hey, Like I said before, reach out to us from the radio station at our local number, 318-484-2500, and toll free at 877-464-2500. And again, you can also reach out to us on social media at In the Moment with CourtierKuzan.com. All right, folks, back to friends. We're talking about traits of successful people. Okay, and like you've heard me say before, it would actually be criminal for me not to actually help people and guide them along the right pathway, or give them the opportunities to actually show them how they can improve in different areas of their lives. And, you know, in me being your friend, I mean, really, to be a successful person, to let you know what traits are of a successful person, it actually identifies to you the things, if you're trying to pattern your life after a certain individual or someone that you may see on television or someone that you may have gleaned as far as internet or someone in the church, whoever it may be. Now, you'll notice that another trait of a successful person is attention to detail, okay? I mean attention to detail to where it really just seems like it tends to drive everyone around them crazy. I mean, this has to be a certain way. They're regimented in this fashion. They get up in the morning, and by the time, say, if you wake up 8 o'clock in the morning, they've done more things from 4 a.m. to 8 a.m. that it would almost consist of an entire day. Okay, for whatever their regimen is, as far as like getting up and praying, exercising, doing their to-do list, checking their emails at that point in time, whatever it may be, they've done the bulk of what most people, it would take us, 8 hours to accomplish in that first part of the day. But, you know, having attention to detail. And guess what? They wake up on that day not just trying to figure out what they need to do, but they wake up with that attention to detail already knowing what they want to do, already knowing what they actually want to accomplish. And it leads us right into the next point, you know, keeping an inventory of your actual accomplishments. I mean, what you need to do is actually keep track of your accomplishments, to remind you of overcoming, you know, different impossible situations. And what do I mean by that? We tend to, for whatever reason, always focus on accomplishing the big things, okay? Just the big things that happen in our life. And for whatever reason, we tend to just overlook the small accomplishments that happen. Now, let me just give you an example on this. Let's just say, you know, in a matter of you getting in shape. You may want to get to the point of, if you're on the treadmill, let's just use that as an example, and get to the point of being on the treadmill and going 5 miles. And you say, hey, I set this goal for myself to get on the treadmill for 5 miles. But then, you know, you get on the treadmill and you, for your first time getting on there, you may go a quarter of a mile or half of a mile, and then you feel winded on the treadmill. And a lot of people will actually see, well, wow, I've made this goal for myself of, you know, 5 miles, and I've only got, you know, to about a half a mile. And they look at that as something that's actually bad, but don't see that it's the first step in the process of being successful to actually get in shape. Because a lot of people miss this. Success, just like getting in shape, guess what, folks? Or should I say my friends? It doesn't happen overnight, okay? It doesn't happen overnight. Nothing in your life happens overnight. Success doesn't happen overnight, and you want to know, failure doesn't even happen overnight. It's a sequence of things that have to happen to get to that certain point in your life. So, friends, each and every time you take steps towards your success, you need to realize it is a process. One of the hardest things that I had to realize is that success is a process. Now, if you're anything like me, you can have a plan just laid out in your mind. You can see how it works. You know how to talk to this person. You know how to connect the dots with this business. You know how to do all of these things. But guess what? You may have the perfect plan, at least in your mind, about how to bring about your success. But the thing that we tend to forget about is this. Even though you've got a plan, there are going to be forces outside of your control that are going to have to actually come in line to allow your plan to actually pretty much be made manifest. But you know, what I've actually realized is that our plans a lot of times actually bring about a lot of toil in our lives, just because we expect certain things to happen and things that just line up exactly as we've envisioned them. But folks, I should say that's not the real world, okay? It's not the real world. Friends, we really got to keep focused on, you know, that everything that we've got lined up may not work out exactly the way we expect them to. And next point is, you know, compulsively working their network. Successful people compulsively are working their network. I mean, they're constantly working their network of, human connections to actually maintain relationships. Now, it's not that you say you make a connection with someone, they're prominent or whatever in some company, all right? And like myself, the Lord has blessed me to actually have, rub elbows with a lot of people that are well-to-do. Some are millionaires, and you might say, well, brother, look, are you like rich or something like yourself? God allows you to glean certain things from certain individuals in whatever season that you're in to actually take you to that next level. And to actually, even before this radio show even started, one individual that's a multimillionaire, I asked her, for some advice. And, just because of the rapport and everything that we had, the greatest advice she gave me, I thought she was going to say, hey, you need to talk this way. You need to do this way. And she just looked at me and she said, Court, be yourself. That was the greatest level of advice that she gave me. And it caused a shift to actually happen on the inside of me, because it instilled even more confidence about doing this radio broadcast. And it also just let me know that God was just showing me that, hey, I've been equipping you from past situations that have happened in your life, and now I just need you to be the true self of who I've actually created you to be when you get on the airwaves. So sometimes the greatest attribute that you can actually have on your pathway to success and being a success and having the traits of a successful person is actually being yourself, okay? Now, successful people actually, and this is going to be big ones for you, friends, they actually reward themselves, okay? And what do I mean? Emotionally and, physically reward yourself to actually avoid burnout. I mean, you've got to stay centered and then, remind yourself of why you're actually making the sacrifices that you are making. Now, if you get to the point to where you are actually working and say I don't know, like I said, let's keep using working out, and you've gotten to a mile. It's been 3 months and you finally got to a mile on the treadmill or, whatever it is that you're on. And then all of a sudden in 3 months, you may have dropped 5 pounds. And, based upon what you see other people are doing, you're like, oh, my Lord, what's really happening? I've only lost 5 pounds in 3 months. And look at this person that's always on the side of me. I mean, they've lost like 25 pounds. You can't get in a state of comparing what's going on with you as opposed to what's going on with them. Now, you need to take and celebrate that 5 pounds or whatever milestone you've actually had in your life and celebrate, hey, look, I put forth the effort. It may not be happening as fast as I want, but guess what? It is happening, okay? That's a nugget for someone out there right now. It may not be happening. Success may not be happening as fast as you want, but guess what? It is definitely happening for you. And then, as we're still using this workout example, what's actually to stop you from actually inquiring that maybe someone may have started at the same level that you are and they may be progressing a little bit faster than you are? Open your mouth and actually ask them, what are they doing? Those little nuggets, those little tidbits are what you can actually use to actually help progress you further in your journey towards what it is to be a successful person, okay? And then, folks, guess what? Be grateful. Friends, be grateful. Be grateful, be grateful, be grateful. If nothing else, be grateful of your accomplishments. No matter how small, no matter how great, be grateful. Always be thankful. Always be humble. I mean, the worst thing that you ever want to do, friends, is actually get to the point of where your success begins to take off and, well, you just start throwing it in people's face. So you have this air of, arrogance about you. And people are, if they're literally going to start, how can I say, avoiding you like the plague. I mean, the worst thing in the world is you want to be around someone that's just always flaunting, what they have, what they've accomplished, what they're doing in front of, your face. I mean, you really need to realize is that success can actually be used to draw people, even the right type of people, I should say, to you. And it also can be used to actually push people away from you. But you have to be aware of how you're actually using your success, okay? Now, when you're successful, traits of a successful person is, okay, not wavering in a crisis, okay? You definitely must remain calm and if a firestorm actually arises. There are so many examples of, like, right now, billionaires, and I'm not talking standard, I'm talking about Christian billionaires out there, and so many people that have gone to be millionaires, billionaires, however you want to say it. If you actually research their lives, they've gone through some really great rises, but they've had a lot of different falls in their lives. But what did they do? They didn't allow those situations, those things that have been detrimental to those lives, those hard circumstances in their lives to actually determine where they were going to be. They took those situations, they grabbed hold of those things, and they started to analyze, okay, what is it that I did wrong that I could actually control? And then they looked at the outside circumstances of whatever it may be, whether, I don't know, it was something that happened as far as like in the economy, something that happened with a company that we're dealing with, an individual they were dealing with, whatever it may be. They analyzed what happened, and then what happened. They made a course correction so that it wouldn't fall into like that same hole, that same pit again. But they didn't let, a situation or a crisis to deter them from actually moving forward into their actual level or their capacity of success, okay? And what's really big here, folks, or should I say, friends, look, you must strive to be authentic, okay? You've got to have authenticity, okay? Please be genuine. Please have authenticity, okay? The thing that I see a lot of people doing, they want to copy. I mean, it's okay to look at what other people are doing and take a piece of what's going on that's going to apply to you on your path, on your journey, okay? But don't try to copy someone, okay? God made each and every one of us to be masterpieces, masterful works of art, to put us on the potter's wheel, to actually take time to mold, to shape, to craft us, okay? So guess what? You've got to strive to be authentic. I mean, clearly, you need to express your opinions. You need to be truthful, and you also need to be transparent. Now, more than anything, friends, the transparency that you need to have, people actually need to know, hey, this person, even though they've reached this level of success, they're actually approachable. You really don't realize is that as you rise higher to your level of success, people are watching your lives, and they're actually using what's happening in your life, what's going on with you, to actually be the standard of what needs to be done, and hopefully in a good way, to actually train them up and show them a quicker, faster, and a better way to go towards their level of success. I mean, it's just really awesome when you just look at that, but you need to really clearly express who you are. Now, I'm not talking about getting out the box and saying, my way or the highway type of thing. I'm talking about where you can actually go ahead and reveal 3 points of guidance to them and showing them 1 point of pain, okay? Being real to them with the knowledge and the skills and the expertise that you have, but showing them the true vulnerability that you have to actually get to that level of where you're at right now, okay? So you've got to be transparent. And I tell you what, folks, when we come back from the break, we're going to get right back into these traits of a successful person. And guess what? Continue to be in your moment. Welcome back to In the Moment with Courtier Kuzan. On this Motivational Monday, we are loving it up in here, folks. Hey, you can reach out to us yet again at the radio station on our local number at 318-484-2500 and toll free at 877-464-2500. I mean, we're talking about traits of successful people. And, what just came to me is that, when I've been talking about successful people, and I really want to find out, friends, this, okay? Do you have in your mind right now, when I'm talking about successful people, when the first image that pops in your mind, because this used to happen with me, is it that you're always possibly thinking about something from like a boardroom, dressed in a suit, someone driving a nice car or living in a big house? I mean, what is your picture of success? I mean, really, what is it? Okay, because I'm really feeling right now that people are actually putting a image of success that's just not real. Okay, it's almost as if you, like I said, look, friends, just like what I used to do. When it came to me actually thinking about what success was, it was always someone with a briefcase or someone that had a pocket full of money. I'm sure you see where I'm going with this, but that's a mirage, okay? That's a hallucination, all right? Yeah, that can be the product of your success, the things that I mentioned previously, but true success is when you really are happy with yourself, okay? True success is when you've been able to make a definite impact on another individual. True success is when you can walk into a room and you make that the atmosphere better because of, you know, what you bring, you know, to the crowd. True success is people value your opinion so much that decisions are being, you know, they wait to make decisions until you're actually able to put your input. I mean, I can actually keep going on and on. I mean, and especially when you're a parent, true success is that when people start to come to your kids and they start to ask them about certain things and they use their parents as the measuring stick of what it is to be a successful dad or successful mom or, you know, whatever. You know, folks, success doesn't necessarily mean, like I said, the car, the fine clothing, the home, all of that. Success, like I continually say, is different for so many different people. And I mean, I'm your friend, and I'm here to tell you, you know, friend, family, however you want to say it, however you want to classify it. Like I said, it would be actual criminal of me to not just open this up and paint this picture for you, because I don't want any of you to actually get, you know, under this condemnation of, you know, wow, you know, I'm never going to achieve certain levels of success in my life. Or, well, brother, you've got all this stuff going on. Look how the doors have opened for you as far as like radio and all the other media outlets, you know. Look, doors have opened for me, but as I told you before, as doors open for me and, you know, the Lord lays things upon my heart, this radio show, and I'm going to say this over and over until you actually get it, it's not just for me, it's not just a blessing for my family, but it's actually, you know, a platform for those out there that need to actually express their voice and concerns of things that's going on, or give testimony about the great things that have happened in their life. Because guess what? Even under the sound of my voice, I'm only going to be able to reach X amount of people. But when you call in, okay, when you call in, you're going to be the catalyst to actually help propel someone else to their next level. You're going to actually be the catalyst to help unbound someone else. You're actually going to be the catalyst to set yourself free for when you actually hear words coming out of your mouth because you didn't realize there was something deeply embedded within your spirit, within yourself. Those are traits of a successful person. Now, the thing that we really need to realize, back onto the points that we have, okay? We need to take actual responsibility, okay? A trait of a successful person is taking responsibility. And what I mean by that, you need to own your mistakes, okay? I mean, failure should actually, you know, not be hidden or, you know, passed to others. You know, like passing the buck to other people. I mean, you as well as others need to actually learn that mistakes are a part of the process of being successful. And a lot of us, you know, we don't want to own up to mistakes that we have made. And, you know, this is the greatest thing that I can actually say about, you know, my grandfather. The greatest thing I can actually say about my grandfather. If I didn't remember anything else about my grandfather, and believe me, some of you that were raised, you know, like they say back in the day, you know, some of my friends and family, you know, that are listening right now, and I'm talking about each and every one of you because you're friends and family, tell me that my grandfather was a hard man. It was like, you know, he was that one and done, meaning if I tell you something one time, that's it. It could be like 5 months from now. And then, of course, if he asked me to do something and I was just hesitant about doing something, he was like, boy, you know what I told you. And it could have been 5 months ago that he told me, but he wasn't going to repeat himself. You know, it was that one and done thing. But the thing that I can actually remember about him, he said that, guess what? You're going to make mistakes in life. But he says, when you make mistakes, he said, right or wrong, whatever happens, he was telling me, stick by whatever your decision. If it was something that you made a decision about and it was the right thing, then guess what? Learn from that. But he said if it was something that was the wrong thing, find out how to actually change about what you did, you know, make that course correction. But he says, don't apologize for your mistakes. He said if it's something that happened that wasn't bad, he said, basically, I'm just put his words, be a man and own up to it. Always own up to whatever choices that you made, good or bad, okay? Because why? When you do that, it builds that character that's actually necessary on the inside of you. Okay, it's like, you know, it's funny to where, you know, like I said, don't hide it. I'm saved. I'm a brother that's saved, but this show is just not for saved folks. This is for unsaved. This show is for everyone, okay? And, you know, I've been told by people said, hey, you know, Court, wow, you know, whoo, man, you tell the truth to a fault. That blew me away when I actually heard that. And you might say, well, why is that? Friends, I've been doing that even before I accepted Christ as my Lord and Savior. You know, people always said to me, you have to be lying, because no one can actually tell the truth that to that degree. And I've always, because of what my grandfather raised me up to be as a reflection of him, because how did he say it? You know something, when you go out in the neighborhood, when you go out in those streets, you know, you better not do anything that's going to come back on me to make me look bad, you know. And I took it to heart. And trust me, if you ever did anything that wasn't right in his eyes, believe me, there were consequences from it. And that goes to the point of actually taking responsibility. Now, in saying that, think about your job, think about your home, think about your marriages, think about whatever area of life. If you try to actually hide or skirt behind a falsehood, a lie, or try to pass the book and say it was someone else's fault, how did that come back and just bite you in the backside? Okay, how was that not standing up and taking, you know, ownership, taking responsibility for something that you may have done that may have been a mistake? Okay, like I said, we all make mistakes. How have you not just standing up and say, okay, yeah, I'll take that, instead of not standing up and, you know, actually being accountable for that? How did that come back on the back end and actually just, you know, cause you some issues later on? You know, even in the corporate world, which I've told you, when supervisors said, hey, you know, Court, why did this actually happen in this? And, you know, even though I had people under me that I was responsible for, guess what? If they didn't do something right, then it immediately went to the overall supervisor, okay, which was myself. And I didn't go say, well, you know, such and such should have did this or such and such should have did that. I was like, you know, I dropped the ball. But I've learned from what I've done. I've learned from this mistake, and it won't happen again. And you know what? I went, made the course correction with the individual, and then it made me be more attentive and watchful for the things that actually needed to happen. But what's really important is this. Unless you're actually ready to actually take responsibility that you actually need to change some things in your life, talking to somebody right now, that you actually need to change some things in your life to actually get to what it's going to take to get you to be a successful person, you're always going to be stuck right there. And folks, when we come back, we're going to get right back into this, and know that you're still right now in your moment. All right, friends, we're back to In the Moment with Quartia Kuzan. Hey, we've been talking about the traits of a successful person, traits of successful people. It's been some nice topic points that we've had up in here, and, you know, like I said, just wanted to lay the groundwork to let you know that a lot of times we kind of trip ourselves up as far as like what it is to actually be successful, because we've got this mental picture that's, you know, coming from social media, television, or wherever you may be looking, as opposed to like what success really is as far as like in your life. Now, it's all right to take pieces and parts from different things that you see, but remember, don't try to your life after what you see someone else is doing. Okay, as I said before, we're all masterful works of art in the eyesight of God as He's created us. Okay, so we need to go ahead and walk into the full plan and purpose that He has for us. And some of you out there, you know exactly what I'm talking about in that regard. But you know, as far as like as we ended before, take responsibility. Taking responsibility. I mean, like I said, I went out before break talking about that, but that is just like it. Wow. Taking responsibility for all the things that have been transpiring in your life. Stop making excuses for different things. Stop saying why you haven't actually taken that first step towards your level of success. Stop saying it's a person. Stop saying it's a system. Stop saying it's money. Stop saying it's your mama and that child, whoever it is out there, okay? Stop using whatever it is. Stop saying about food stamps, government assistance. Stop saying about because of race. Stop saying whatever the excuse that you're using. Stop using the excuse. Make your own personal decision to use what God has instilled on the inside of you to go into your level of success. And so, as I said, take responsibility. So, all right, Another trait of a successful person is this. They're advocating, basically for, their customers. I mean, they take care of their customers because, ultimately they are the reason that you're actually in business. If you have it in your heart, if you already are an entrepreneur, or if you are striving to be an entrepreneur, then guess what? To be an entrepreneur, you have to have a customer base. Whether it's like a brick and mortar business to where you see people face to face, or it's over social media or digital, but you have to have customers. And friends, a lot of individuals out there, they tend to, in this day and age, just simply look at a customer, look at a client as just a dollar sign. Let's just be real with it, okay? And a lot of individuals have really lost that, what I call the high touch, okay? I'm giving you a nugget, a really big nugget, okay? High touch means when you actually take care of the relationship with customers, with your clients, okay? All right? The low touch is basically when you take care of the whole aspects of the operational things, the relationship first and foremost, and then you take care of the operations next. And some of you might be saying, well, shouldn't you take care of the operations and then you work on the clients, then you work on the customers? If you have a relationship, okay, and it still rings true even today, the greatest marketing or the greatest advertisement that you will ever have in your community or wherever your platform is going to be word of mouth. You cannot get away from that. It's basically this. No matter how much money you put out on advertisement, no matter how much you think you're affecting people with billboards and things, when you start to hear people talking about what you're doing and how you're impacting their lives through word of mouth, guess what? Things are going to start spreading and happening for you almost as if, it's like wildfire, okay? So being an advocate for your customers. And then discounting the praise of others, okay? Don't let the praise of others go to your head. Just because people are saying, oh, you're like, just for the radio program here, I thank God for the words of encouragement, but I don't take those as something that actually, inflate my ego or inflate my head. I take those as God actually telling me, hey, you're doing well, keep on track. You're doing well, keep on track. And that's the same thing that we need to be, as far as like on this track to success. Someone can say, wow, you're really moving good. I see the transformation that's happening in your life. I see all of these great things that are happening. Wow, look at how you were barely struggling at one time financially, and now literally you've got an X amount of dollars coming in a month, whatever it may be. Take that as just a stepping stone as far as like God just saying, hey, you're on the right path, just keep going. But definitely in the process, don't, as we say, get the big head. Don't allow your ego to inflate. Don't allow that to be something that's going to, in the end, be a stumbling block that actually gets you, as you want to say, knocked off the horse of success to where you actually have to start all the way over. And then a desire to give back. That's one of the main things as far as success, people. You've got to have the desire to get back. Friends, like I said, if you're in this to be successful and you don't have a desire to get back, meaning to encourage, and motivate others that are in your realm of influence, you may want to reevaluate what success is to you, okay? We don't want to actually use people as a stepping stone, use people, use and abuse, okay? That's not what success is, all right? As I said before, success is actually getting to this point into your life to where you're in a position to be a benefit to others, okay? Teach one, reach one. Teach one, reach one. You have got to have it as that being a cornerstone in your life of helping others, okay? You need to really have this. A desire to give back. And if not just for the individual, but for a community as a whole, whatever it is that, the Lord has actually placed upon your life to actually give back, okay? You need to actually refuse to be defined by failure. And, this is like really, really huge. No one, let me repeat, no one is 100% successful, okay? Everyone has to learn through failure. Everyone. But, don't let it actually define you. If you're afraid of failure, then guess what? You are avoiding success. That is the number one thing that actually stops people from going forward to actually walk into the realm of being successful. And that is a fear of failure. If I told you over the last 20 years how many times I've tried this one pursuit or tried this another pursuit, and some area of success has actually started to happen, but then in the end I failed and then it went to another thing, you would say there's no way on God's green earth I would have been trying for 20 years to keep being successful and it failed so many different times. Well, I think it's Thomas Edison actually said it when he was creating a light bulb, and he did it like I don't know how many times. It was a lot of times, in the thousands. People said, well, how did you have the motivation to keep going on when you failed so many times? And I'm going to use his words. I didn't fail those times. Those were times to show me not to repeat that mistake that I've done before, repeat that failure that I did before. So he took it as an opportunity to grow. Okay, and I'm just going to throw that out there. We know fear, false evidence appearing real, and that's what the enemy tries to do. And guess what? How God allows us to know that we're more than conquerors. And guess what? You need to actually find out, friends, what it is on the inside of you that's going to make you to be more of a conqueror. You need to find out what is actually going to actually allow you to be successful in your life. You need to actually find out what is that thing that's igniting you to go further. Are you tired of actually living from paycheck to paycheck? Are you tired of always seeing your kids not having enough? Are you tired of always being the smartest one on a job where you are, but people are still getting paid more than you? Whatever it is that's going to ignite you to be that individual that strives to go forward and get out of the realm of fear to actually achieve your level of success, then guess what? Grab hold of it, hold on to it, and let that be your motivational point. And folks, I thank you so much for all these things that have been happening. And it's like really powerful at how I know that you're absorbing all of these things and how these things are actually changing your life, and how right now I can just say, guess what? It's like someone's come right up to you and the light switch is just going click, and things have actually been happening. Folks, it's been dynamic. It's been awesome. And I will see you tomorrow on that terrific Tuesday as we come back and get into your moment. Take care and God bless you.